Imagine a world where buildings were fragile, unable to support the weight of history. This was reality before an invention that changed not only the course of architecture, but also of humanity. Behind the imposing ruins that still defy time, such as the Pantheon, the Colosseum, or the aqueducts that cut through ancient landscapes, lies an ancient secret that has intrigued modern scientists and engineers: Roman concrete. How could a technology developed more than 2,000 years ago have surpassed what the contemporary world, with all its science and advances, still struggles to replicate? What was the magical formula that the Romans mastered, allowing their works to resist the weather, earthquakes, and even the passing of centuries? This extraordinary material was not just a tool. It was the foundation of an empire that shaped the world. Thanks to him, the Romans were able to build bridges that connected distant regions, amphitheaters that brought together crowds, and ports that expanded their influence into unknown territories. More than a simple means of erecting buildings, concrete was a symbol of the ingenuity and technological mastery that defined the rise of the Roman Empire. It allowed the Romans to transform the landscape and create an infrastructure that still serves as a reference for the modern world. But what's so special about this concrete? And why is it considered better than the material we currently use? If you're curious to know, get ready in your armchair and leave a like here, and now we'll tell you everything about Roman concrete. Before the emergence of concrete that would redefine the standards of architecture, the Romans, like many ancient civilizations, relied on simple but effective materials such as clay. With its unique characteristics, clay was much more than an accessible resource. It was a material that offered constructive possibilities thanks to its malleability and adhesiveness. This natural substance, composed of very fine particles of silica and alumina, had properties that made it ideal for molding shapes and joining other structural elements. Clay played a crucial role in early Roman engineering, allowing the creation of bricks, tiles, and even decorative coverings. The Romans quickly realized that the composition of this material had something special. The presence of silica gave it strength and durability, while alumina, a component that improved cohesion, ensured that the clay hardened evenly when drying or being subjected to heat. These properties, although rudimentary compared to the technologies that would come later, served as a kind of natural laboratory for the advances that would transform the world of construction. The use of clay also allowed the Romans to experiment with more complex structures. Observing its behavior when mixed with other materials, such as sand and lime, builders began to envision the possibilities of creating stronger and more versatile substances. This period of experimentation paved the way for the invention of concrete, a step that combined practical ingenuity with the scientific curiosity of the Romans. Thus, while clay represented the foundations of constructive creativity, it also pointed to a future where technology would be able to challenge the limits of the possible. Over time, the Romans refined their construction techniques, and bricks became an indispensable element in their architectural works. Bricks, extensively documented in the writings of the Roman architect Vitruvius, emerged as one of the most practical and adaptable solutions of the time. Its use was not just a technical choice, but an ingenious strategy that allowed the Romans to create structures that combined functionality, durability, and aesthetics. The Romans manufactured bricks in different types, adjusted to local conditions and the specific requirements of each project. Among the most common were red clay bricks, rich in iron oxide, which provided exceptional strength and were ideal for supporting the weight of heavy structures. White clay bricks, made from purer and lighter clays, offered a more refined alternative, often used in finishes or to reduce the weight of more delicate structures. The standardization of sizes and shapes, achieved through molds, facilitated transport and use, making bricks a reliable and efficient material throughout Roman territory. Brick production was highly practical and economical, a reflection of Roman ingenuity in maximizing local resources. Unlike stones, which required labor-intensive extraction and transportation, bricks could be produced directly on construction sites or in nearby locations, using clay, which was completely abundant. After being shaped, they were dried in the sun or baked in specialized ovens, a process that not only increased their durability but also allowed for large-scale production. Furthermore, the use of bricks allowed for architectural flexibility that would be difficult to achieve with other materials of the time. The development of Roman concrete was a revolutionary milestone that redefined the limits of construction, allowing the creation of works that defied the forces of nature and time itself. The truth is that the Romans were not the pioneers in the invention of concrete, but they were the first to use the material on a large scale. At the heart of this material was the introduction of precise techniques for mixing lime, sand, and other materials, creating a mortar that not only held the structural elements together, but also completely transformed the architectural possibilities. The process began with the production of lime, one of the fundamental ingredients of mortar. Obtained from limestone, lime was produced through a calcination process, in which the limestone was heated to high temperatures, generally in kilns specially built for this purpose. This heating removed carbon dioxide, resulting in calcium oxide or quicklime. When mixed with water, quicklime turned into slaked lime, a substance that, combined with sand, created an adhesive and durable mortar. The Romans experimented with different types of limestone, discovering that variation in mineral composition directly influenced the properties of lime, allowing specific applications for each type of construction. Roman concrete, in its basic form, was composed of aggregates such as stones and ceramic fragments, held together by a hydraulic mortar that gradually hardened over time. This hydraulic mortar was made possible thanks to the addition of volcanic ash, known as pozzolana, a material abundant in regions close to Mount Vesuvius and other volcanic areas in Italy. Pozzolan gave concrete the ability to harden even in humid or submerged environments, something that modern concrete still struggles to replicate with the same efficiency. This feature was a watershed, allowing the construction of ports, aqueducts, and other structures that needed to resist the force of the water. Mastery of the production and application of this basic concrete was a combination of observation and technical ingenuity. The Romans not only understood the chemical properties of the materials they used, but they also developed mixing and application methods that ensured maximum efficiency and durability. The introduction of hydraulic mortar, in particular, was a transformative innovation, as it allowed the creation of structures of shapes and sizes that would have previously been impossible. As a result, Roman concrete quickly became one of the most important foundations of architecture at the time, being applied in an innovative way in a wide range of constructions that shaped the urban and military scenario of the empire. One of the first and most fundamental uses of concrete was in foundations, essential to support the colossal structures that characterized Roman ambition. These solid foundations were reinforced with heavy aggregates, such as large, dense stones, ensuring stability even in unstable terrain or subject to earthquakes. This attention to detail allowed the Romans to construct lasting buildings that have survived for centuries, resisting both time and natural adversity. In addition to foundations, concrete played a crucial role in the construction of forts and fortifications, essential elements for the expansion and defense of the empire. Thanks to its fire resistance and ability to harden, even in adverse conditions, concrete was ideal for protecting strategic structures against enemy attacks and bad weather. The versatility of the material also allowed its use in more sophisticated projects, such as high vaults and domes. By combining concrete with lightweight stones such as pumice, the Romans were able to reduce the weight of these structures, allowing them to reach impressive heights without compromising stability. This innovation is exemplified by the Pantheon in Rome, whose monumental dome, made partially of lightweight concrete and considered the largest unreinforced concrete dome in the world, remains standing to this day. The benefits of Roman concrete went beyond structural strength. Its formula, enriched with pozzolana, provided unique properties, such as fire resistance and waterproofing. This was especially useful in buildings such as baths and aqueducts, where constant contact with water required materials capable of preventing infiltration and wear. Concrete was also incredibly adaptable, allowing the Romans to cast complex, innovative shapes like arches, pillars, and curved surfaces, pushing the boundaries of architectural design. More than a simple building material, Roman concrete was a tool that reflected the ambition and engineering genius of the time. Its practical and artistic applications not only solved functional problems, but also elevated architecture to a new level, allowing the creation of works that symbolized the power and permanence of the Roman Empire. Every solid foundation, every impenetrable fort, and every imposing vault was a testament to the technical mastery and creative vision of a civilization that used concrete as a bridge between the possible and the extraordinary. Concrete coverings in Roman architecture were much more than a surface finish. They played an essential role in the protection, decoration, and even chronological identification of buildings. Over the centuries, the Romans developed and refined various cladding techniques that not only increased the durability of structures, but also revealed the empire's level of architectural and aesthetic sophistication. Among the most iconic techniques were opus incertum, opus reticulatum, opus testaceum, and opus mixtum, each with distinct characteristics and purposes. Opus incertum, one of the oldest techniques, was characterized by small irregular stones embedded in the mortar. This approach, although simple, offered excellent adhesion and was often used on foundations and walls that required sturdiness above all else. Over time, opus incertum was replaced by opus reticulatum, which had a more refined pattern. In this technique, small pyramid-shaped stones were positioned in a diagonal arrangement, creating a hammock-like appearance. This technique not only improved the resistance of the coating, but also gave a geometric elegance to the walls, making it popular in urban buildings and aristocratic villas. Opus testaceum introduced a new level of efficiency and aesthetics by using triangular bricks embedded in mortar. These bricks, often precisely cut, formed a clean and organized pattern and were widely used in buildings during the imperial period. In addition to its visual appeal, this technique provided excellent weather resistance, making it ideal for buildings exposed to varying weather conditions. Finally, opus mixtum combined elements from previous techniques, alternating bricks and stones in patterns that combined practicality and ornamentation. This approach reflected the adaptability of the Romans, who shaped their techniques according to the structural and aesthetic needs of each project. Roman coverings were not limited to practical matters. They were also decorative elements used to beautify public buildings, baths, and elite residences. These coverings were often covered with stucco or marble, creating polished, detailed surfaces that showcased the wealth and power of the owners. Furthermore, cladding techniques today serve as valuable tools for archaeologists, allowing them to identify the chronology of buildings based on the patterns used. For example, the predominant use of opus incertum is an indicator of older constructions, while opus testaceum and opus mixtum are typical of the imperial period. All of these techniques and aesthetics symbolized the pinnacle of engineering and creativity of a civilization that built to defy time. However, with the fall of the Roman Empire, the world lost much more than military and political power, as many practices and technologies of the time were gradually lost, plunging the world into a long period of technological regression. What was once a refined and functional art eventually disappeared, taking centuries to be rediscovered and reinterpreted in a new context, when the need to build again with durability and efficiency brought concrete back into the spotlight. And among the many innovations that were forgotten during the Middle Ages, Roman concrete is one of the most notable. For centuries, knowledge about this revolutionary material remained buried in the ruins of ancient cities, replaced by more rudimentary and less efficient construction methods based on simple stones and mortar. Without mastery of concrete mixing and composition techniques, the world saw a regression in engineering that resulted in less durable and less ambitious constructions. The decline in the use of concrete is closely linked to the loss of organized infrastructure and technical knowledge following the fragmentation of the Roman Empire. Access to key materials such as pozzolana has become more difficult, and the ability to create precise mixtures has disappeared without adequate transmission of this knowledge. This limited architectural possibilities for centuries, as builders in the Middle Ages turned to more affordable techniques such as the use of heavy masonry and wood. Only in the 19th century did concrete return to the center of attention in engineering and architecture. The invention of Portland cement, an artificial material developed to imitate the strength of Roman concrete, marked the rebirth of this technology. This cement, created through the calcination of limestone and clay, offered a modern solution to the growing needs of urbanization and industrialization. Although it was more efficient in many ways, concrete based on Portland cement still lacked the durability that made Roman concrete stand out. This sparked the interest of engineers and scientists, who began to investigate ancient compositions in search of answers to the secrets of their longevity. In recent years, advances in the study of Roman concrete have brought fascinating new discoveries. Researchers identified that volcanic ash, used by the Romans, played a crucial role in the durability of their buildings. Elements such as the recrystallization of minerals over time and the self-sealing of fissures explain why structures like the Pantheon and aqueducts still remain standing. These studies not only highlight the genius of Roman engineering, but also inspire solutions to modern challenges, such as the need for more sustainable and resilient concrete in a world facing climate change and natural disasters. With this, we can say that the impact of Roman technology on the modern world is undeniable and transcends the field of engineering. Roman concrete was not only a milestone in the history of construction, but also a testament to the ingenuity and vision of a civilization that understood how to utilize natural resources to create something eternal. His works, which still defy time, are a constant reminder that true advancement lies in balancing functionality, durability, and aesthetics. Today, as scientists and engineers look to Roman formulas for inspiration to improve contemporary materials, it is clear that the legacy of this technology continues to shape the future, just as it shaped the past. Now, we want to hear from you. What impressed you most about this video? Do you think it will take a long time to overcome this technology? Leave your opinion in the comments. If you liked this video, leave a like here and subscribe so YouTube can recommend more content like this. If you want to know the 10 most dangerous jobs in ancient Rome, just click here to check them out.